to another video. So today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to make a Roblox GFX intro. So let's get into it. So this is going to be a simple one, but the first thing you want to do is download Roblox Studio, and if I can find a link for that, I will put it in the description. So after you load in, you will see this basically, and you'll click base plate, because that's just the easiest to work with. And when you load in, this will not be here, so I'm going to show kind of how to get that. So the first thing you want to do is open up Toolbox, which will be on the home page. Click Toolbox, and then go to our view. Sorry. And you want to click on Explore, and yeah, so you go to View and click on Explore. Now, to load in your character, you need the Load Character plugin. So to do that, you go to your Toolbox, click this down button, and go to Plugins. And if it's not already there, it's already there for me, but it's called Load Character Lite, so I'll just type that in, Character Lite, or just type in Load Character. And once you're there, you should click the free one, because the free one is the one, it works perfectly fine and you don't really need to pay for it. So yeah. So after you got that plugin, what you want to do is go to your plugins and click Load Character Already Pros Plugins, and then type in your Roblox username or whatever model you want to use. So I'm going to put in my Roblox username, which is going to be Ash Fralin. There I am. And so R6, if you didn't know, it means that the body parts aren't going to be like separated. It'll make sense when we load into Blender, but for now it just means that the body parts won't be as separated. But for R15, you can move the separate parts, which is why I use it for most things, but I don't really need to for this. So I'm just gonna spawn in the R6. Okay, so now we are loaded in. Just turn around. Oh, and I forgot to mention, don't forget to click spawn character at origin. That's important as well. So yeah. So now that you have loaded in your character, what you want to do is export the selection. So you just right click where it says your Roblox username right here. Click export selection, and then call it whatever you want to call. I'm storing mine in documents. I'm just gonna call mine intro example, because why not? And save. Now you can save this if you want to, but I'm not going to, so I'm just gonna click X, save changes to base plate, and I'm gonna say no, and then we'll move on to Blender. So now I'm in Blender. For those of you who don't know, Blender is basically what you use to animate your stuff. And to get out of this screen, what you do is just click anywhere. Now we want to go to Cycles Render. So you click on Blender Render up here and go to Cycles Render. I just like to use this because it usually ends up a lot higher quality than Blender Render. So now, how to move? So you click Shift plus F. I'll put that on the screen, and you can move with W, A, S, and D, or your finger pad, your arrow pad things, whatever they're called. And if you want to move faster than this, just click Shift, and those are mostly the most important ones for what we're doing. So to delete this very ugly box over here, you are going to click delete and then click delete. Yeah, click delete again. Now we need to import a Roblox character. Go to file and then go to import and go to wavefront obj. And then you're going to find your file wherever you loaded, you saved your character into, basically. And I saved mine in documents. This will be blurred out for personal reasons. And now you see my character, but if you didn't know, there's something wrong. It is all white and we don't really want that. So this won't show up in the official render. It won't look like this. It'll look like my Roblox character. But just so you can like envision the magical stuff of your Roblox character, you want to click on this white circle over here. And then go to material. And that shows all of the materials, of course. And there is it. So that is my beautiful Roblox character. And now, if you want to see what it looks like before it is rendered, what you can do is click on that place where you got to material, and then go to rendered. But if you didn't know, there's actually something wrong with this. It is all very dark. So to fix that, you go to this little circle thing, the world, basically, and click ambient inclusion. And then it looks really good. Now we want to change the color of the background so that it isn't this color. And to do that, you go to the world thing again, and you're going to click surface and click on the color thing, and it'll bring up a color wheel. And for this, I'm gonna do like a light orangish color, and bring up the brightness so that it's it just looks better. So I'm going to choose my color real quick, and I'll be right back after that. Okay, so I finally chose the color that I like, with this peachy color, and I forgot to mention, so like if you put your color, for example, to like this color, then you can see that there's a slight undertone almost. I don't know what to call it, but it makes your Roblox character look a little bit like purple. So I usually try to do lighter colors because it doesn't affect it as much, as you can see. And that's like the color that I chose. I think. Here, okay. So I have my color again. I think I'm gonna go for a little bit different color, just a little bit more orange, because I really like orange. Oops. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. So now to get back, you want to click on this and go back to material. And now you are back and you can move and everything just fine. So now we're just going to do how to get the camera, how to get it focused into one spot. Basically, so if you just zoom on over here, you can see this thing. This is your camera. And if we go back to the little camera over here, so what you can do for the resolution, this actually changes how big your camera is going to be. So if I put like 10,000 by 4, you can see it changed drastically. And if we want to do this, or 10,000 by 10,000, it just makes a huge square. But for now, I'm going to keep mine at the normal rate, which is this 1920 by 1080, and then you have your normal camera. Now to get inside of the camera, which is what we want to do, you go to view and then go to camera, or you can click your number pad 0. It's like a separate number pad if you're on desktop, but I am on laptop, so I just click view and go to camera. And then you want to go all the way to your Roblox character. And we are here. So now we have made it to our Roblox character all the way over here. And you are going to want to bring up your resolution all the way up. We're just going to do this right now. And then you're going to want to, so if this doesn't show up, just click on output and then save it where you want to go. Make sure that you definitely change this. So save it where you want to save it. I'm going to save mine in documents as well. And then you want to change this from PNG to AVI JPEG. And this is very important because you could spend all of that time and then mess it up completely because it turns out as a picture because you did not click JPEG. So that is very important. And then turn the quality all the way up so you can have the best quality. And now, so we have our color here, we have everything ready. So I think we are ready to start our animation. So the first thing I usually do for my animation is join the head, which is kind of weird. So I usually just go on the camera actually to do this. Oh, okay, I'm inside of here. So basically, I'm just going to right click this. You have to right click stuff to kind of, to grab it so you can move it or whatever. So right click, right click, right click, right click, right click. But if you want to right click multiple things like I want to do for this, I can shift, right click, shift, right click, shift, right click, shift, right click, and wherever. But if you see the arrows are all the way down here, which means I can only move it from all the way down here, which I'm not going to do right now. But you can only move it from all the way down here. And so, for example, if I had my hair, right, I had to, do this all the way from down here. And it's harder when you're in camera mode. Also, I forgot this little thing, but to undo, you can go to history and undo manually, and then, or you can do Control Z. I think the opposite control is Control Y. I would check that and put it on the screen if I'm wrong. Anyways, so to fix this problem, and it's very annoying when you're in camera because you can't really reach down there. So to fix that problem, what you do is set origin and then click set origin to geometry, and it will bring it right here. So yeah, that's just a little tip that I usually do. So what I want to do is join the head, because if you look at this, the hair moves by itself and I want to move the whole head. Of course, every time I could just select all of it, but that takes time, and it's just easier to do it this way. So you'll shift right click everything, including the earrings, and then what you want to do is click join, and now they move all together. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set my origin to geometry again, and if I want to move it, it now moves together. And if you want to undo that, again, it's Control Z. Okay, now to get into the animation, the most important parts, you want to go to view and then go to camera once again. And now, okay, so basically this is all that's going to show up. All of this spot that's out of the dotted line, it will not show up at all when it's rendered, which I think is a pretty cool feature. I don't know. Anyways, so how I like to start off my intros is usually by doing this and moving the camera over here. I'm gonna move up a little, but also to move up and down, it's Q and E. I forgot to mention that. So you're just gonna turn over here. Okay, and now I'm going to explain how these keyframes work. So you're gonna go all the way down here and click this button, and that records the keyframes. And the keyframes basically record it, and that's what's going to hold your animation basically. So I'm going to right click on this camera, so that will be the thing that it's going to be tracking, basically, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna move this a little bit so that it senses that is there. Otherwise, it won't sense it and it'll just go straight to the scene, if that makes sense. And now you will want to move it all the way to 20, and that seems like a little bit, but it ends up being a good place at the end. So I'm just gonna move this all the way to over here, right on my character, like that. And then how to play it, you can move the green thing and just move it like that and then click play. Or you can, I usually do this just because it's my natural reflex, or you can go all the way back and click this button or this button and play, and it just moves it there. So now to the animation part. So basically I'm thinking that I'm going to do a wave and then maybe tilt my head or whatever. It's going to be a simple wave, but whatever. So now I right click this, if you can see that. So origin to geometry. And now to make it, first we have to sense, it has to sense that's there. So go like to 20 or 30 here. You can also tell where it is by this bottom part. It's at 29. So I'm gonna go here to 20, exactly 20, and just move it the slightest bit so no one will even, so it doesn't look out of place. A little bit, and then go to 40, and this is where the action will begin, where the waving will begin, basically. So I'm going to click this automatic keyframe and click that automatic, I call it the automatic keyframe, I don't know what it's called actually, and just click on that so that it's not recording during this. So now mine was broken the other day, but never mind that. So now we are going to move our arm any way that we want. I'm going to choose which way. Okay, so now the arm is like this. Just move it. Also, I totally forgot to mention this, but so if you see these things down there, this one is to move up and down. This one is to rotate like that. And you have to click on the different handles, like the green handle will do something different, the red handle will do something different, the blue handle will do something different. Let's go ahead and do that. So, yeah, all of these things do something different. And then for the last one, this one, it will make it bigger or smaller, super small, wide, turn it around or whatever. I'm gonna undo that so I do not ruin this. So basically, I'm just going to pull this up to here, and to make it wave, to make me wave, whatever you want to say. So now you're going to turn your keyframes on, and you are going to move. So this is going to make it look like it's waving. So first you want to acknowledge that it is there, so that it looks natural, and you're going to go, oop, I messed up. Okay. So that's why we have that thing. You go like this, and then you move it to 60, and you go like, oh my, I keep messing up. It's okay. And you can tell when you make a mark when it has a yellow line there, and don't forget to move it, otherwise it will be messed up. And then you want to go back up, and then down again, and for however long you want to do that. So now if we watch this entire thing, press play, wave. It's a sort of natural wave, and then I'm going to add a last thing. I keep messing up with this. Okay, and sometimes when you undo it, it brings you back to here, to the 0, so just go back to the part where you were at. And I'm going to go to 100, and we are going to go back up. And that is your full wave. So if you watch this from the beginning, pretty simple. And then I also want to pause I want to move the head, make the head look good, basically. So we're just gonna go to 20 again, right click on the head, which I joined earlier. If you didn't do that, I'd recommend go do that. But just tilt the head a little bit, and you don't really need to move it. It'll just look like this the entire time. And then what you want to do, I usually do this, just make the head go a little, not a little bit down, but you don't have to do that with the red handle. There. Now if we watch this entire thing, it will look fine. Okay, the head looks a little bit unnatural, so I am going to redo that just a little bit. And you want to look as natural as possible. Just gonna move a little bit. I think that looks pretty natural. I don't know. It looks kind of weird, but whatever. And then what I will do, so basically if you want to make it like go away to another place, if that makes sense, so you have to go to camera again. And if you remember, this arm actually stopped at this. So you can go to any place basically and move the camera down ever so slightly, just tiniest bit ever if you can. And then at the end you go here and move it slow. Oh, we're gonna redo that. So sometimes it undoes the entire thing, and that's okay. You can just redo it real quick. So just move it down ever so slightly again, and then go to 120 or whatever you're using, and turn this. Just turn it over here. And if we watch the entire thing, now you can just watch it. You can see it move a little bit, and then it'll move there. So how to render it? Well, first what you want to do, you want to see where you want to end it. I think it will end good at 140. This is kind of long, but that's okay. And if we want to check how this looks rendered, again, you can just go to rendered, and that looks pretty good, I think. So we can just click this so it won't be recording our keyframes anymore if you accidentally mess it up. And basically it's gonna be very pixelated because it has to move everything in there. So sadly, unless you have like a really good computer, I think it's not going to really do it in the best render form. It's not gonna look that good. But remember so that the file isn't super long, remember to end it, but give it a little bit of time so you can put all your stuff, or yeah, put all your stuff basically. Okay, and now for the grand finale, we have to render this, and I don't know if I can keep this on here so that it will render, but I'm going to go render and click render animation. Let's check if we have everything in order. AVI, JPEG, 100. You have to make sure that you have everything done. I always do this, even if I'm sure. And this is also a thing that people do. And here we go. Let's render animation. Click.